What's going on, y'all? So in this video, I'm giving you guys 4 things you can do right now to cut fat without a meal plan. And you know you family, so I got you. And I'm making this video today because I remember when I first started, the thought of a meal plan or something structured was just overwhelming to me. Like I would follow it for a few days, and if I missed today, I would get discouraged and I would throw the whole thing away. So I'm giving you guys 4 guidelines that help me cut fat and keep it off. And hopefully you can use it for yourself. Let's get into it. And don't laugh at my pyramid either, man. I am artistically challenged. But one of the first things we want to focus on when it comes to cutting fat without our meal plan is attention to detail when we eat our foods. And what we mean by this is details in our oils, our sauces, and our drinks. But first things first, right? While we are cutting fat, we want to be in what's called a calorie deficit, meaning that your activity in calories should be greater than your consumption in calories. So let's say you're a guy, you're burning 2,000 calories in a day, right? If you're only consuming 1,500 calories, then you're in a 500 calorie deficit. And that's how you lose weight, right? So one thing we really want to be mindful of is not adding extra calories so we are in a surplus. We want to stay in that deficit, right? And one way we do that is being really mindful of the details in our foods, the oils, sauces, and in our drinks. So oils are very calorie dense. All that means is there are a lot of calories in oil. And when it comes to oil, it's easy to overconsume because it's not a filling thing. So you can overconsume oils and not even know it. But calories are calories, and all those calories add up. So, for example, 2 tablespoons of olive oil is close to 280 or 300 extra calories. You wouldn't really feel that when you eat your food. So when it comes to olive oil or any oil that you cook with, be mindful of how much you use. Spray the pan as opposed to pouring oil in the pan to save yourself some calories so we can stay in that deficit and we can cut fat effectively. Same thing with sauces. And I'll give you guys an example. So the other day I had sweet potato fries, and I'm a dipping guy. I like to dip my fries in some kind of sauce. So I had 2 choices, and I'll show you guys. So I had Kinder sauce, burger sauce. Per 2 tablespoons, we're looking at 170 calories. Your boy probably getting about 4 tablespoons of sauce. I like to drown my fries in sauce. But that's 340 calories extra added to whatever food we're eating, right? As opposed to no sugar added ketchup. So no sugar added ketchup was 10 calories per tablespoon. 4 tablespoons, that's 40 calories. So that's 300 calories extra that I would have added to my food in just a small choice, small decision. So really be mindful when it comes to the sauces that you use. And the same thing applies when it comes to drinks. It's a lot of hitting calories, sugar, carbs, and fats in our drinks as well. So really, really lock in on small details, and that could really be a game changer when it comes to losing weight. All right, next. So while we are in this caloric deficit or the calorie deficit, we want to make sure that we are getting enough protein in, right? And we'll go over the specifics and why we want to get enough protein in a second. But we want to be getting enough protein in. Efficient protein is 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? So if I'm a guy that's 160, I should be getting close to 160 grams of protein per day, right? And one way we can track and monitor if we are getting enough protein in is a macro calculator, right? And you can get a macro calculator from MyFitnessPal. You can go online and find one. I have one in my app personally for all my clients so they don't have to go and dig everywhere. But a macro calculator. So something that will show you how close you are to your protein goal. So you can add a chicken breast, it'll already calculate how much protein is in that chicken breast and it'll subtract it from your goal. So you can see how close you are to your goal, how far away you are from your goal. But it's a visual to show you how close you are to that actual goal. And we need to be getting at least 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And the macro calculator, so we don't have to think about it all day. Did I eat this? Well, I ate this for breakfast, I ate 4 eggs for breakfast, and I ate a chicken breast for lunch, and then I ate. It'll do it all for you in that macro calculator, so you don't have to think about it. So next, right? Next is our sugar intake. Ooh, sugar intake. And that was a big thing for me. Recommended sugar intake for the average American is less than 25 grams. Think about how easy it is to go over 25 grams of sugar. And if you don't believe me, ask Google or ask ChatGPT. Fact check me. But less than 25 grams of sugar. The right sauce or the right sports drink can have you far over 25 grams of sugar. And the reason being, sugar is another calorie-dense food. So it's a lot of calories in sugar, and because there's no fiber or no real nutrients in sugar, it's not nourishing our body and it's not keeping us full. So it's very easy to overconsume, right? Not to mention blood sugar levels. So we'll go into detail about like blood sugar and fiber and how those affect the body. But blood sugar levels. So when you eat too much sugar through a whole process, when your sugar spikes, it's a whole process. Again, I'll go over all this stuff in detail. In the process, your brain actually sends a signal to your body to store fat once you're spiked, once your sugar spiked, right? And once your sugar crashes, that's when you find yourself looking for a coffee or an energy drink or for a snack to try to pick your energy or pick your sugar back up, right? So we really want our blood sugar levels to stay constant. We want sustained energy throughout the day. We don't want to deal with crashes or spikes because that's dangerous. And one way we make sure we do this is just controlling our sugar intake. Being mindful of staying under 25 grams of sugar in a day. And it may be tough at first. So try to add more fruit to your diet. More fruit and fruits with fibers in it. Fruits with fibers that can keep our blood sugar level constant so our energy levels are sustained. And last but not least, the last thing on the chart, right? Protein and fiber. Adding more protein and more fiber to your diet. It's essential. You need it. Now understand, protein, like we talked about hitting our protein goal. So protein is what actually builds, repairs, and helps our muscles grow. So we need enough protein. We need protein. And while we are in this calorie deficit and we're losing weight, we don't want to lose muscle at all. At all. So you see the dangerous thing of these guys eating once a day. I only eat once a day. So I'm in a deficit. But it's like, yes, you lost weight, but in the process, you lost muscle because you didn't eat enough protein. So now you're weaker than you are before. And then you see these guys that are skinny fat. And you're like, man, what happened? What happened? Not getting enough protein in. You don't have enough protein to sustain the muscle. So, therefore, you lose weight and you lose muscle in the process. So, really being mindful of just add extra protein to each meal. Add protein to each meal to ensure that while we are in this deficit, we aren't losing muscle in the process. And then fiber. So fiber, and I'll make a whole nother video on the specifics of fiber, but fiber will keep us full. So we talked about keeping that blood sugar level constant. Fiber will help keep that blood sugar level constant so we won't deal with any of the spikes, right? We won't deal with any of the fat storage, or we won't deal with any of the crashes to where we feel like we have to grab snacks or energy drinks or things of that nature to pick our sugar back up. So it'll keep us full, keep our blood sugar level stable so we have sustained energy, on top of the fact that it'll help lower our cholesterol and reduce inflammation. But again, like I said, man, I'll make a whole nother video on fiber and sugar and how it affects the body later if you guys want to see it. But here are the 4 guidelines that I use to help me cut down without a meal plan. And hopefully you guys can use it for yourself too. Again, I love y'all, man, and I'll see y'all soon.